Hey y'all, it's Jeff from ZenPilot. I'm here to talk about a super fun topic today, ClickUp AI. So obviously a lot of buzz around it, and we've been getting a ton of questions from different agencies on how to best leverage the tool. So I want to give a quick beginner's guide and tutorial on where you can actually find ClickUp AI, as well as specific use cases for marketing agencies to help make their teams more productive and efficient. So let's jump right into it and first talk about where we can actually find ClickUp AI. So within any task, whether it's a parent task, subtask, nested subtask, whatever it may be, I can click into that and I'll see within the task description, if I don't have any text written here, we'll see our different options for add a description or use AI tools. If I use AI tools, it's obviously going to give me the AI functionality. Within this, we'll see a bunch of different options. Click on more. We have a lot of different tools that we can leverage. In addition, if I go over here to this drop-down menu for departments, I can narrow it down to maybe a designer, maybe I'm a email marketer focused on social. I can find a bunch of different specific tools for me to leverage in my specific department. So very powerful there. It just helps narrow down the options that you're looking at so you're not overwhelmed by the amount of tools that you have ability to use. In addition, if I go to the description and I use my slash commands, so if you're not using slash commands, highly recommend it, make you way more productive and efficient inside of ClickUp. And I come here, slash commands, I can type in AI. We'll see we have write with AI, which is our more sort of open form prompt here, as well as AI tools. It's going to give me the same menu I was looking at earlier. So besides task descriptions, I can also go to a specific document. If I add a new page right here, you'll see right away these pop up just like it did in the task description. I can click on any of these, same drop-down menu. It's very similar. In addition, I have my slash commands here as well. So if I type in AI, we'll see write with AI or AI tools. In addition, if I already have text written down on a document, I can utilize the summarize up here to summarize what I've written, or I can highlight a specific piece of text and you'll see I have AI pop up right here and I'll be able to edit this section. So I can make it better, which I really love. Let's say you're writing a paragraph within a blog post or something like that, and you just want to get an extra set of eyes on it or just have some different thoughts on how you can actually make it better. That's a great way. I can click on that and you'll see it'll generate some text for me on how I can actually make it better. I can replace that. I don't have to. I can copy it so that I don't take over the text that I've written. So very useful and very helpful to make your writing a little bit better. In addition, I can always use my slash commands at the bottom, and you'll see now we have a bigger menu here that I can either continue writing, summarize, write. So a lot of different options now as I start to generate text on a document. So now that we've gone over where you can actually find ClickUp AI, I want to go over a few specific use cases for marketing agencies to leverage building out campaigns for their customers. So one, obviously we're going to want to open a ClickUp document, and I want to go over a quick scenario just so we can walk through how I'm going to build all of this out. So in this scenario, I'm doing a campaign for ZenPilot, and I'm going through an educational course. This is a new release that is the ClickUp for Agencies playbook. So I have my what, I have my who, I have my why. What are we actually trying to do? We're trying to increase awareness for this educational course, increase course conversions, increase revenue. I know who I'm targeting. I know what my specific campaign is. It's going to be a quarterly campaign to build awareness for a brand new product. Some content ideas. So if I'm doing some organic social efforts for ZenPilot, I want to have some content ideas that I can use and build out a content calendar that we'll see in a second, as well as keywords. Say I'm doing some social efforts and I want to write some blog posts potentially. Just to help build brand awareness, get people, and then the call to action is the playbook. So from there, that's kind of the initial inputs that we're going to want. The more documentation and the more effort that you put into this, the better your outputs are going to be. So I recommend at least by minimum getting this information from your customer, talk with them. So from here, now let's say we want to actually build out a campaign brief. So as I come to any new ClickUp document, I can come here and we'll say I want my AI tools. And from here, what we want to do is not be in social, we want to be in marketing, and we'll come and we'll see at the bottom, we have create campaign brief draft. So when I click on that, as we'll see now, I have really cool within these tools so that it's not as intimidating. If I just get sort of an open form for me to input text, I could be like, I don't know what I'm going to put, but this gives me some categories of what they need to actually create this campaign brief draft. So for your team, it'll make it a little less intimidating for them that maybe people haven't leveraged AI or things like that, just to make it a little easier for them as they get used to actually utilizing this. So from product or service, let's say we're going to do an educational course, the ClickUp for Agencies playbook. So if you have another document open up, you can just copy and paste in here, which makes it a little bit easier rather than you having to type all of this. And let's say for the target audience, marketing agency owners, my campaign objectives are going to be increase awareness, increase course conversions, and increase revenue. Another cool feature in here is the tone of voice. So I would play around with this a little bit, but think about the way that your customer usually writes. And for this specific use case on the campaign brief draft, it might not make a difference because the draft is not as much as the email template, which is actually going to go to the customers, or blog posts that we're going to be writing. That's going to be a little bit more useful when I'm selecting this tone of voice, but be thinking about how they typically write or what their brand usually utilizes. So maybe we're professional, straightforward, casual, friendly, humorous. So it is fun to test around with this to see what you can generate and just know. So I'm going to generate this now, and you'll see I can come back if I don't like what it created for me. I can also edit those inputs or just try it again if I'm not super pumped with what it just created for me. So as we'll see, we created a campaign brief draft with the target audience, our objectives, strategy, some personas, key messages, what channels we should be using, performance metrics, things like that. Give me sort of just a framework or just get something written down so that we can edit this now, talk about it with a customer, and get together a good sort of campaign plan for the next quarter. So from there, let's just say we are good with that. We can either insert it into this document. I can copy this if it's going to go into a Google document. A couple of different options there. Or let's just say, I don't want to deal with this. Let's just discard it. So I'm going to insert that, and now we have our campaign brief. So obviously you're going to edit this, make it better, whatever it may be. A couple of different options there for you to leverage. The first thing I want to do is I want to create a blog post. So I want to build something that I can then leverage for some of my email campaigns so that there's a ungated resource that'll then have a call to action that goes into that specific course that we've just created, the ClickUp for Agencies playbook. So I'm going to start with creating a nice long article that'll be sort of my pillar content that I'm going to utilize. So from here, a couple of different options with this blog post is I can utilize ClickUp AI for creating blog titles, actually writing the blog. I can use it to put together an SEO sort of framework with different titles and things like that. But let's say we want to start writing titles. So we already have some written down. And what I want to do is we'll see at the top, we have generate blog titles. And so from this one, we're going to need our topic, our target audience, as well as the content purpose. So again, if you have text already written down in another document, highly recommend copying and pasting it into here to save you some time. We're just going to do a how to implement ClickUp for agencies. This will again be somewhat of just a generating brand awareness. We're going to use specific keywords just to get people to this. And then hopefully the call to action will be getting them into the course. So from there now, we're going to be targeting marketing agency owners. My content purpose is going to be a proven process used by 2,700 agencies to streamline their operations in ClickUp. And from here, tone of voice, let's say we're going to be casual. So there we go. We get a bunch of different options to choose from. Again, if we don't like it, maybe we want to change the tone of voice. We want this to be a little bit more humorous. We can generate that there, and we'll see. Now we have a little bit more funny of titles to choose from. Or let's say I still don't like that. I want to do more professional. And from there, let's say we get a title. We'll just insert that into the document. Now we have a bunch of titles. Some of these are more funny. Some of these are more serious, whatever it may be. Let's just say I like Simplify Your Agency Operations with ClickUp, a step-by-step guide. I think that'll be a good title for me to leverage for my blog post. So now I can open up another document. We'll see. We'll put that right there. And now I need to actually start writing. So this is now, if I come here, I'm actually going to leverage the Write with AI. And this is going to be a little bit more open of a prompt as opposed to giving me specific sections to fill out. Again, as I was saying, if you want, you can come here to AI tools. And let's say you're just trying to gather some specific headlines to choose from or put together somewhat of an SEO article brief. There's some options there, so I'd suggest you check those out. I think they're great, but this one, let's say I want to skip that and just go straight to writing the blog. Maybe I have a pretty good idea of it, but I just want to get some text written down so I'm not staring at my screen for too long. So again, let's go to Write with AI page, Write with AI, just like this. And we'll see what would you like AI to write about. You also have your recent prompts down here too, so if you do a prompt and then click out of it or something, you discard it, and you're like, oh shoot, I want to get that again. You can also just click on your recent prompt and it's going to pull it up right away. So help save you some time if you make a mistake in that regard. So let's say I want to write an article, copy this over here, about the 5 ways marketing agencies can best leverage a project management tool to be more productive. I can say write a 1,500 word overview of how this article would be best written. The audience is marketing agency founders and should be written in a casual and conversational manner. So now let's generate this and see what it comes up.
A few moments later.
And there we go. So we got some text that we can use. I'm going to edit the inputs if I wanted to. Let's say we want this to be a little bit longer. Let's just say we want a 2,000 word overview. And now let's generate that again.
One eternity later.
So now we have at least a starting point for our blog post. From there, again, we're going to want to start actually writing and putting in our research as well as putting in our creativity. And this is a good spot to just get us started so that we can get something written down rather than starting from scratch. We're good with that. We've created our blog post. We have our piece of content in, and we're good to go. Next up, we're going to transition to, now that we have that pillar piece of content, we want to move into actually creating an email campaign to build awareness here as well as get people to the actual course. So what I can do now is if I come here to a specific email campaign, let's say I want to leverage AI for this, I can first start with the emails that we need. So what are the different stages? What are the different days I need to send these out? Is this going to be across a month, 2 months, whatever it may be? We can put together sort of that drip campaign and create it right here and then dive into creating each individual email with text. So what you're going to want to do is open up AI tools. Instead of going to email, we'll do that next, but we're going to start off with just outlining an email campaign, which you find in the marketing tab. So I'm going to click on that and we'll see now we have our product or service, our target audience, campaign goals, and our call to action. So let's say our product or our service is an educational course, our ClickUp for Agencies blog post, our targeting audience is our marketing agency owners, our campaign goals, as we've written down, is going to be increase awareness, course conversions, and increase revenue. And then our call to action, let's just say, is get instant access to the course. And tone of voice, this one, again, because it's just an outline, might not matter as much, but let's just do casual anyways. So what that's going to do is it's going to give me sort of my overview as well as go through some specific emails that I should do, as well as sort of what the send date is. So maybe my first one is just an introduction. Then my next one is actually applying some testimonials to this, maybe an exclusive offer, a case study, and then the last chance. So this is just a great way to create this template. And then maybe we send this along after we've edited it to the customer to say, hey, is this good to go? Are these the emails you want? Whatever your process is. Again, you probably have a proven process and email templates to leverage, but this is just a great way to just get something written down, get a framework, some thoughts put together on what are the emails that we should create for this specific campaign. So let's say I'm good with that, and now I want to insert that, and now I have sort of all of my emails. So let's say now my email one, this is going to be my introduction. And now what we're going to do is we're going to actually leverage our AI tools and move into email. So if I come here to email, now we'll see we have a bunch of different options: write an email, reply to email, promotional email. So we can choose what we want. Let's say I want to do a promotional email. I'll click on that. Again, we're going to need our product or service, our target audience, promotion details, selling points, things like that. Let's actually say, let's just go to write an email, and I can list out my talking points if I want to. Let's just say I have giving an introduction to an in-depth video course that provides step-by-step instructions to help growing marketing agencies streamline their operations in ClickUp. This is where the tone of voice is going to come into play, because these are our emails. This is actually text that's going to go out to the customers of our customer. So we need to make sure that this is leveraged well. And let's say for this one, let's just be funny here. Let's just say it's going to be humorous. From there, let me tell you, it's a game changer. The step-by-step instructions are so easy to follow. Even my grandma could do it. No offense, grandma. Very humorous. Thank you, ClickUp AI. That's awesome. From there, let's say that's a good one. Now we just want to insert that in here. Say we've written all of our emails. We're good to go on our email campaign. And now we want to move into creating a content calendar. So we have our blog post, email campaign. Now we're going to content calendar. And then lastly, we're going to write some ad copy. So the content calendar is actually a very cool feature in ClickUp that you can leverage. I love using it. It gives you a good sort of framework, and also doesn't just give you text. It puts in a table format that you can leverage. From here, what we want to do is we are going to go into social. So when you click on social, you're going to see in the AI tools is create content calendar. So that's where we're going to start. And then you'll also see once you create that content calendar, you can leverage ClickUp AI for writing tweets, or we'll use ad copy in a second, but a lot of different options for our social posts. So let's click on create content calendar. Our target audience, again, all of these are going to be the same. Marketing agency owners, our topics, This is one thing I mentioned earlier that it's helpful to have. Let's say we're going to be going for productivity tips, streamlining ops, documenting processes, improving profitability, so on and so forth. Posting frequency, this is another thing that can be helpful to have. They'll give you most channels anyways, but let's just say we want to do Twitter daily. This is just going to prioritize this. And then let's just say we want to do LinkedIn daily. So this is a lot of posts, but let's just say for this use case, this is what we're going to do. Tone of voice, let's be humorous again. Why not? Again, that's not going to matter as much for just the content calendar, but it might update our content types here. So again, this is great because now we have a table for specific channels, and now we're getting sort of at a weekly basis, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Sunday, different topics, different content types. So whether we're going to use a GIF, whatever you call it, whether it's going to be images with memes, whether it's going to be videos, whatever it may be, this just gives us a nice kind of framework to utilize for a content calendar that we can send and edit with our customers. So after that, let's insert that. We have our content calendar. We can start actually taking these and creating specific posts. Last but not least is going to be, let's actually start creating ad copy for our ads that we're going to use to promote this course. So this is going to be the last one I'm going to go over, but it's a super awesome way to, again, ad copy can be sometimes difficult. You want to get creative. You want to get a bunch of different options that you can kind of combine and get the best one out there. And I'm not going to be using ClickUp AI to create any images. I want to do that for customers anyways. Use your graphic designers. They have more creativity than AI, but want to get some copy here. So create ad copy. Let's go back here. And it's telling me I don't have anything saved. That's fine. AI tools. We want to create ad copy just like that. So again, my target audience is going to be marketing agency owners, and my product or service, we're going to be doing an in-depth video course that talks about ClickUp. And tone of voice, let's do humorous again. So the one thing I noticed with some of this ad copy is it's going to be a little bit longer. So if you're doing a Facebook ad, a LinkedIn ad, whatever it may be, this text is going to be a bit too long to put on a piece of creative, as you could see right now. So what you can do, say you like that, you can just use a specific section of this. You can also say, hey, let's make all of this shorter. Make shorter. So that might still be too long, and I insert it. That's another thing to note is you can insert it, or I can replace it. So insert it, we'll insert to the bottom of that text. Replace it, we'll just take what I have there and completely replace it. So that's kind of one way that you can start to get some ads built out. But again, this might be a little bit too long text for a specific ad copy on just a basic display ad, a LinkedIn ad, Facebook ad, whatever it may be. So if you want to, you can also leverage writing with AI to get that written out. So if you want to best leverage writing with AI for ad copy, we're just going to follow the same process we were following before. Obviously, this might be a little bit more intimidating to a new user where we don't have the fields to fill out. We're going for sort of an open text here. So we just want to make sure we provide as much context as possible so that the AI actually knows what we're creating here. So what we want to do is, again, provide that context that's necessary. So tell them what we're doing. We're promoting a new in-depth video course that does this for who, as well as we just need to write ad copy in what kind of tone. We have a casual tone with a headline, 20-word body, a call to action, and then give them our target audience. So there's obviously more things you could probably put in there. I would do some research, and there's a lot of prompts that people have been using and putting there on LinkedIn or Twitter, things like that. But this is just one that I would leverage. This is the minimum context that I would say you need to actually generate a good output and good ad copy here for this. So after that, we can just generate. So you'll see now we have our headline, we have our body, and then our call to action, which is great. Now we can take that, insert it. So it's a little bit better than what it was giving us earlier because this might be a little bit too long depending on the ad that you're actually going to run. So there we go. That is our scenario. Went through our campaign brief, our blog post, actually creating the titles as well as writing the blog, putting together an email campaign draft with all the specific emails that are going to come out on each specific day, as well as putting together a content calendar, writing our content for those social channels, going through and creating a few pieces of ad copy so that we can send it to our creative team to actually design those ads. And now we're good to go. In addition, one other fun use case, just for some bonus, is after you have run this campaign and we got our emails all out, we want to see maybe the increase in web traffic, increase in conversions, things like that. We can start to look at that data as you pull it into a spreadsheet. As a marketer, you're probably good at data analysis to figure out, okay, what do we need to improve on? How can we get to the next step? But if you want AI to take a look at what you're looking at inside of a spreadsheet, what you're able to do is, again, come to AI tools, come here, and you'll see we have analyze spreadsheet columns. I can paste that data right in here, and it'll give me a little synopsis as well as some recommendations. So just another way to leverage the tool inside of ClickUp and just use this. I think it's super cool. Great way to just get an extra set of eyes on the data that you're looking at, just to validate maybe what you're looking at, as well as if you wanted to generate some ideas for you. So those are the 5, 6, 7 ways that I would leverage AI inside of ClickUp. Obviously, a ton of other use cases as well, a lot of different AI tools. I would definitely take a look at those. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let us know. Visit zenpilot.com or subscribe to this channel. But pumped to have you here, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.